Hey biologists, today we are going to be talking about a specific type of protein called an enzyme. If you guys remember when we talked about this in the past, the job of enzymes are to speed up chemical or metabolic reactions that are happening in our bodies or any other living organism's bodies. So we're going to go through enzymes and specific properties that enzymes have. Number one, enzymes are known to be specific. That means that they have a very unique shape based off of the amino acid sequence that built it up. Remember, enzymes are proteins. Amino acids build up to make our proteins. So whatever that sequence of amino acids are, creates the enzyme to fold a certain way and create a different shape. Now, enzymes are said to work with one substrate. A substrate is also something like a reactant, so the beginning of a chemical reaction. So one substrate fits with one enzyme. This substrate, if you look down at this Pac-Man diagram, the substrate is that triangle. The Pac-Man looking shape would be the enzyme. The substrate fits in a very specific part of the enzyme called the active site. Once the substrate fits into the enzyme called the induced fit, the chemical reaction can take place. And again, this might be kind of hard to visualize, but as we go through biology, it will start to make more sense. So enzymes are specific. They work with one substrate due to the shape. We call this the lock and key model, just like how a specific key unlocks your bedroom door or the door to your house or the door into West Mecklenburg High School. There is a different key for every single lock, just like there is a specific substrate for every single specific enzyme. The lock and key model, talking about specificity. All right, next things. Enzymes are known to be something called a catalyst. A catalyst is something that speeds up a chemical reaction by lowering the activation energy. The activation energy is the amount of energy needed to begin a chemical reaction. So if you guys take a look at this diagram, the line that you see, the straight black line represents the chemical reaction taking place. The activation energy is right at the very top of this graph. In order for the chemical reaction to proceed forward, we need to get over and climb this hill and get over that hump. So what the enzyme does is it takes this and it lowers the activation energy. So this dotted line that you see right here is going to be the chemical reaction with an enzyme. So that activation energy is lowered so I can get over that hill much more easily. So think about it like walking up a hill. This first one is going to take a lot more effort than if we have the enzyme and the hill's a lot lower. It's going to be a lot easier for us. All right, the next thing we have in this picture, you're going to see a man trying to build a fire. This is like a chemical reaction without an enzyme. He's building a fire with two sticks. It will work, it's just going to take a very long time. So in order for to speed up the process, he's going to need a enzyme. So in this case, to build a fire faster, a couple things that we could do, gasoline, matches, a lighter, which would create a fire that looks like that. So we don't necessarily need enzymes to complete reactions. We need them to speed up the chemical reactions. Our next property of enzymes is that they are reusable. The green object that you see in this picture represents the enzyme. The enzyme in this picture is showing starch being broken down into maltose. Remember, ose is a sugar. As you see, the shape of the enzyme does not change. Therefore, it can be reused again and again and again. And two things that enzymes also do, they digest larger molecules into smaller molecules and also synthesize small molecules into larger molecules. So if that didn't make sense, you can just take a look at these two pictures. So synthesis means to build up your molecules, two smaller ones into one large one, or to digest, taking one large molecule and breaking it down into two smaller molecules.